Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's latest milestone, how the auto strike could massively affect Tesla, Cybertruck updates, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla has reached another impressive milestone in vehicle manufacturing. They recently announced they'd manufactured their 5 millionth car. Quote, "This week we produced our 5 millionth car. Thank you, Tesla owners, for your ongoing support." What's even more impressive is how quickly they got there. In 2020, after 12 years of operation, they announced their 1 millionth car. 3 years later, in March of this year, they announced they'd hit 4 million. Now, just 6 months after that, they've added another million. If they maintain this rate, that'll mean they're at an annual production rate of 2 million vehicles already. They have warned that production ramping would slow as they update their factories in Q3, but considering how fast Giga Shanghai was able to start producing the refreshed Model 3, I wouldn't be surprised if they still managed to exceed those expectations. As we can see in Tesla's annual installed production capacity, the Model 3 and Y are continuing to leave the Model S and X behind in production numbers. At Fremont, they have a capacity to produce 100,000 Model S's and X's, and well over 5 times that many Model 3s and Ys. Shanghai is producing even more, and they're well on their way to an annual production capacity of 1 million Model 3s and Ys there alone. Berlin adds 375,000 Model Ys, and Texas adds another 250,000 Model Ys. In Q4, we should start seeing Cybertruck numbers adding to this, which is very exciting. Then, at some point in the future, their next-gen vehicle as well. It looks like they're having a lot of issues getting the factory started where that'll be produced, so I don't expect to see that before 2025. Regardless, 5 million vehicles is an incredible accomplishment and shows Tesla is on track to achieve their goals of eventually producing 5 million cars per year. Next up today, a new study is showing where Tesla batteries have the best longevity. For most people, the main questions with an EV are the battery. How long does it last? How long does it take to charge? How long until it needs replacing? How do I best take care of it? Etc. Overall, as we're coming to learn, the best practice is just to follow a few simple steps like charging to the recommended percentage each day and not overly stressing the battery. But Recurrent regularly collects data on Teslas and other EVs. Now, with their access to 12,500 Teslas, they have found that Teslas in colder and coastal climates have a better range score long term. This is an interesting finding because most may assume the opposite. For normal use, cold climates are known to use up more battery, since the thermal management system has to use a lot more energy to regulate the temperature. But over the long term, it seems these packs actually hold up better when in these climates. Day-to-day use is better in warmer climates and gets better results, but long term, the battery will decline a bit faster. As for the explanation, Recurrent said, quote, "Batteries are a lot like people, always aging. We can do things to reduce these effects like exercise and sleep, or things that accelerate them, such as smoking and tanning. The same is true of batteries, and being exposed to heat is a lot like smoking cigarettes. Environmental heat contributes extra energy to the electromechanical reactions in the battery, which can accelerate unwanted chemical reactions that age the battery prematurely. The generally accepted threshold for accelerated battery degradation is around 30 degrees Celsius or around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Overall, there's not much to do with this information as the range score difference isn't drastic in their findings, but it's interesting nonetheless. Next up today, the United Auto Workers Union has officially gone on strike, striking against Ford, GM, and Stellantis. So far, they have targeted one U.S. assembly plant at each company: the Ford assembly plant in Wayne, Michigan, Stellantis plant in Toledo, Ohio, and GM plant in Wentzville, Missouri. Talks have been ongoing between the UAW and Detroit automakers, but, quote, "minimal conversations over the weekend, so the ball is in their court. We have a long way to go." The UAW's president further said, "We're not going to keep waiting around forever while they drag this out. We're not messing around." While this is something that looks like it would only impact production at these companies' plants, it extends much further. Ford on Friday furloughed 600 workers that were not on strike because of this work stoppage. GM is expected to halt operations in Kansas as well as a result of the Missouri strike. Furthermore, quote, "analysts expect plants that build more profitable pickup trucks like Ford's F-150, GM's Chevy Silverado, and Stellantis' Ram to be the next strike targets if the walkout continues. These will impact these companies even further." Canada is expected to come soon as well, affecting around 5,600 Canadian auto workers. As for the demands at play here, there are higher wages as much as 36% or more. Analysts say they currently pay around $66 an hour, and that could increase up to around $136 $6 per hour. But we obviously don't know the actual numbers from behind the scenes. Quote, besides higher wages, the UAW is also demanding shorter work weeks, restoration of defined benefit pensions, and stronger job security as automakers make the shift to electric vehicles. The electric vehicles piece here is particularly interesting because it's another somewhat unexpected way that automakers dragging their feet on electrification is coming back to bite them. As we know, Tesla is non-union. As these strikes are worsening, their factories are completely operational. The numbers are hard to compare one-to-one with Tesla at $45 an hour according to analysts, but one big piece that Tesla offers for their workers is stock options. Those can pay off very well and are likely a big piece of how they've remained non-union despite the efforts of the UAW. Back in 2018, Elon got in trouble for tweeting, "Nothing stopping Tesla team at our car plant from voting union. Could do so tomorrow if they wanted, but why pay union dues and give up stock options for nothing? Our safety record is 2 times better than when plant was UAW, and everybody already gets healthcare." This was seen as an anti-union threat. Now, in response to these latest strikes, he said, "We pay more than the UAW, by the way, but performance expectations are also higher. Quite a few of our factory techs who work on the line have become millionaires over the years from company stock grants." Technically, Tesla pays less per hour, according to reports, but more when stocks are included. But those details aren't the point right now. While many argue both sides of this, regardless, we could see some pretty substantial effects coming soon. In regards to the pay raises the union is asking for, quote, "The companies say they can't afford to meet the UAW's demands because they must invest those profits to help them make the transition to electric vehicles." Right now, almost every legacy automaker is trying to make the switch to electric vehicles, but they are not yet profitable. It took Tesla years to be profitable, but they pushed forward knowing what the future would hold. Other companies have mainly been dragging their feet or creating compliance EVs in small numbers at a loss. No engineering or manufacturing breakthroughs were actually needed because they didn't need to scale these cars, or so they thought. Tesla came around with the Model 3 and now the Model Y, and per Elon Musk's predictions, the Model Y has become the best-selling car of any type in the world. Ford, GM, Stellantis, and many others are starting to see sales decline because they don't have competitive EVs. Even as they try to catch up, they are shipping cars that lose them money. Ford has the F-150 Lightning and Mach-E available now, but still say they will lose $3 billion there this year and hit profitability in late 2026. GM is introducing many new EVs, but aims to be profitable in 2025. This is a big issue because more and more people want electric vehicles right now, so they'll buy the available cars, but in order for these companies to have cars available, they need to scale up, which takes time and money. They can rely on profits from gas vehicle sales to some degree, but with the union demanding more money, they may not be able to get both done at the same time. In the long view, this is another piece that points to Tesla dominating into the future. They are so far ahead on making electric vehicles, scaling production, and sourcing batteries. They are profitable on each vehicle they sell and are making manufacturing innovations seemingly weekly to help bring down future cost. Legacy automakers thought EVs were a joke. In fact, in 2009, GM viewed Tesla as just a bunch of engineers playing with laptop batteries. Now they are paying the price, and this strike could make things even more difficult for them. In the medium view, this could impact Tesla if record pay is standardized from the union. If there is a big discrepancy that employees feel is unfair at Tesla's factories, there could be another move to unionize. I somehow doubt that, but we'll have to wait and see. In the short view, though, this will likely lead to temporary price increases across the industry. We've seen this in recent years as demand and supply have moved all over the place with shutdowns, chip shortages, and more. As the strike continues, vehicles are not being made. That means that supply will decrease, driving up demand and the price that dealers will sell these cars for since people will pay. We very much saw this last year. In turn, that could lead a lot of people to head to a company with plenty of supply, keeping prices down, Tesla. That's great for Tesla, their cost advantages, and their sales in the near future, but it could also mean more demand for Teslas. As we know, Tesla will absolutely respond as they please with demand, and this time it could mean a price increase. We've finally seen most of Tesla's vehicles back down to great pricing, so this will be unfortunate to see. The new Model 3 refresh is on the way soon in the US, and the Cybertruck should be launching soon though, so it will be interesting to see this unfold. It could have huge effects on the whole industry and Tesla's lead into the future. Next up today, there have been another couple of fun Cybertruck sightings, and we have an exciting update on reservation numbers. Shortly after announcing the installation of their 50,000th supercharger stall, a release candidate Cybertruck has been spotted charging at it. Tesla announced this charger recently, saying somewhere in the world, but fans quickly discovered it was in Roseville, California. Painted uniquely in all red and representing an impressive milestone, it's gained quite a bit of attention. It's therefore an excellent opportunity for them to get more eyes on the Cybertruck. This release candidate has Texas plates similar to the trucks spotted testing recently at Hollister Hills State Vehicle Recreation Area in California. The truck does look pretty cramped in the spot it's parked in, and if the spot next to it were occupied, I can imagine it might be difficult to get out of that truck. It looks like that might be the price you have to pay when buying the very large Cybertruck, though. Another concern that comes with such a large vehicle has to do with the charging cable length. Many of Tesla's superchargers are built to reach Tesla's current charging ports, and that's it. Here you can see the cable is a little stretched, wrapped around the corner of this truck. The truck appears to be parked about as close to the charger as it could comfortably get, and the cable is still stretched. In this video, we can see the end plugged into the charge port from the other side, and there doesn't appear to be any slack at all. It'll definitely be able to charge just fine, but it'll be a snug fit, and difficult for a lot of Cybertruck drivers in the future to back into the charging spot without breaking it. Over at Tesla's Fremont factory, Elon Musk met with Israel's Prime Minister and took him along with his team for a ride around the test track in the Cybertruck. This is one of the closest videos we've seen into the Cybertruck officially, and it confirms a few things. First, when Elon and the Prime Minister initially get into the Cybertruck, you can clearly see the LED light bars engaged. Here it's blue, and we've seen it in red in other sightings. Just like the new Model 3, we expect it to be fully RGB and customizable on screen. It's the latest prototype in its full form with side mirrors and a giant wiper. When they pull out, you can see the wheels without covers, and then they proceed to rip around the test track. It also has Texas plates, meaning it was made where this truck will be made. Also worth noting that they're driving with the cover only partially closed. It seems like maybe this will actually be a feature when needed, as opposed to it simply not being shut all the way here. Towards the end of the video, we can see in and see some light reflecting off of the rear screen. As for pre-orders, we have a new estimate as to how many pre-orders Tesla may have. When the truck was unveiled in 2019, Elon announced they had over 250,000 reservations within a week of the event. Afterwards, it didn't lose momentum. We haven't heard any official numbers from Tesla, but a crowdsourced reservation tally in 2021 estimated over 1 million people had put down the $100 refundable deposit. Now that estimate has doubled. 47,326 order holders self-reported to the organization, and based off of their various reservation numbers, they estimate the total number of order holders to be around 2 million. We expect that once specs and prices are announced, that many of these orders will disappear, and we also know that a lot of Tesla owners have multiple orders. $100 is a low buy-in, but as Electrek points out, even if only 20% of those orders follow through, the Cybertruck will quickly become one of the best-selling pickups in the world. The data further shows that a majority of these customers are interested in the expensive dual and tri-motor trims. Hopefully that means if the price ends up much higher than was originally announced, which I think is likely, these reservation holders won't be deterred entirely. If you get priced out of the tri-motor option, you can always step it down. That said, Tesla usually releases their highest spec first, so that might boost official sales of the tri-motor trim, but many think they're making dual motor first, and may not even make a tri-motor. As for what will actually be released, we'll have to wait and see at the delivery event, which should be next month according to the most recent rumors. Next up today, Tesla has started offering factory tours again as a new referral reward. You can earn referral points when someone uses your referral link to buy a Tesla or by using someone else's link. Mine is in the description below, but you can use anyone's. The rewards available include supercharger miles, various Tesla products and accessories, and entries into the Cybertruck raffle, among other things. They also added an invitation to the Cybertruck delivery event, which is now gone, and I was able to get one. Still unsure if I can even go to this though, considering they haven't announced a date. Now they've added a factory tour for both Fremont and Austin. For 15,000 credits, redeemers can schedule a walking tour with the Tesla team. In this screenshot, the Giga Texas tour is out of stock, but they say if you miss your chance to claim, check back later, additional tours will be added. One redemption is good for 4 tickets, the redeemer plus 3 guests. Unfortunately, photography and videography are not allowed. The Fremont tour is happening on October 26th, which could be a significant date or not. You can earn 10,000 credits for referring someone who bought a Model 3 or Y, or 20,000 credits for a Model S or X. So after 2 and possibly 1 referrals, you could buy one of these. But when you do the math, it equals around $1,400, so do keep that in mind. For just over 15,000 points, you could buy 3 Tesla wall connectors, which are $475 each. I think it's great to see Tesla bringing tours back, and I can't wait to take one at Fremont in particular, but it also seems like a way for Tesla to help customers burn through extra referral credits on something that doesn't actually cost them that much money. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Rivian just had a record-breaking quarter, beating a lot of other startups in registrations. They now make up 2.8% of the overall EV market in the US, with 18,359 new R1S and R1T registrations from January to July this year. 7,611 of those were the R1T and 10,748 were the R1S. They seem to be getting a lot more orders for the R1S than the R1T, with the S representing 70% of the R1 units they built in Q2. At Morgan Stanley's 11th annual Laguna conference recently, CEO RJ Scaringe mentioned they may soon start offering a lease option for their vehicles, which would allow customers to take advantage of the full $7,500 US EV tax incentive on any leased vehicle. He also said updates regarding their next-gen R2 will also come in the first half of next year, including new features and cost-saving programs. The factory where that new vehicle will be produced will be entering construction in Georgia around the same time. For all of their vehicles, Rivian regularly rolls out over-the-air software updates to improve their vehicles remotely. In their most recent update, they were actually able to improve the ride quality of both the R1T and R1S. They say they've improved the feel of all drive modes and ride heights, reduced the impact of driving over sharp objects, as well as bumps and dips. Among other improvements, they added a screen cleaning feature that disables all the screens so you can clean them without pressing buttons. I definitely found that feature very helpful in a Tesla, so it's good to see it on a Rivian as well. By the way, if you want to see more Rivian news, you can check out my full Rivian news video over at my other channel and more. It's linked below. Toyota, who has been pretty late to entering the EV game, is now promising new EVs with nearly 500 miles of range that are due to be released in 2026. They went over their new technical innovations at a technical briefing in June, which include their advanced battery plans, improvements in aerodynamics, and manufacturing upgrades. Those battery plans are comprised of 4 next-gen batteries that will enhance aerodynamics and reduce weight. They also say their performance battery will cost 20% less than they did on the BZ4X and can fast charge in 20 minutes or less. They shared this render of a BZ Sport crossover and BZ Flex Space concept, but those likely won't be unveiled until 2028. As with anything Toyota and batteries at this point, take it with a very large pinch of salt. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the Model Y Tesla just removed from their configurator, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.